Assalamualaikum and very good morning to our beloved lecturer Sir Jafar Lisan Mat Jali and fellow friends. My name is Nur Izzati binti Zaidi. In this video, we would like to present chapter 6, which is planning the inventory. For the introduction, appraisal means the process of determining the value of records. Inventory is a basic archival finding aid whose unit of description are usually the series. Inventory and appraisal of records have a central place in keeping and controlling records and archives of all public, private, and personal office. Records inventory. In record management, an inventory is a descriptive listing of each record series or system together with an indication of location and other pertinent data. The initial step in a records disposition system and is vital in establishing a records management program. As the survey progresses, the survey team will build up a records inventory that describes in general terms the nature, quantity, and location of all the records in whatever form or medium held throughout the agency. There are 5 objectives of records inventory. Number 1. To determine the value and volume of records held by the agency in its various units or services. Number 2. To promote awareness of proper records maintenance and control. Number 3. To facilitate access and retrieval of records. Number 4. To serve as guide in formulating sound plans in the development of a records management program. And number 5, to determine the present and future needs of the agency in terms of personnel, floor space, and equipment. There are 3 stages of planning the inventory. Number 1, pre-inventory planning. Number 2, during inventory. And number 3, physical planning. 7 steps in pre-inventory planning. Step number 1. Select and provide the inventory crew with instructions on completing the inventory sheets. Number 2. Determine the individual involved with inventory are qualified. Number 3. Arrange so that the areas of subjects to inventory are clean and stock is arranged in an orderly and accessible manner. Number 4. Issue instructions that operations, when possible, will cease and no stock will be moved during the inventory recording period. Number 5. Advise all inventory participants that their work may be subject to verifications by auditors. Number 6. If perpetual records are used, make sure that all postings are current. And the last one is auditors may wish to test the accuracy of perpetual records prior to the actual inventory. 5 steps during inventory. Number 1. Issue inventory sheets and records to whom issued. Number 2. Inventory workers will need to access to all records and they need to ask questions as they work. Number 3. Request office personnel to provide aid in getting adequate descriptions, units of measure, and pricing information. Number 4. Assign personnel to cost each item, extend cost, subtotal each page, and grand total on final page. And the last one is return all inventory sheets in numerical sequence to the center's office no later than the scheduled completion date. 12 steps in physical planning. Number 1. While in each unit, inventory staff should draw a map of the physical layout of the area and number each storage device. Number 2. They should also note on the map the location of all record series. Number 3. It is important to look at the records and to open every file drawer and box since label may not be accurate. Number 4. When removing folders, place markers will ensure returning records to the same file location. Number 5. Inactive records often comprise a significant percentage of active file space, and by separating them for active records at the outset, local government will realize immediate savings. Number 6. Inactive records can be transferred to less expensive storage area, and any obsolete records can be marked for disposal. Number 7. Local government needs to use different methods to inventory this record series. Number 8. Inventory staff will need information regarding these issues when carrying out their work. Number 9. Inventory workers should complete one state archive inventory worksheet per record series per location. Number 10. An extremely beneficial product of the inventory can be a database containing information recorded on the inventory worksheets. Number 11. Local government allowed to identify all locations of a fragmented record series and maintain as up-to-date inventory with a minimum of effort. And the last one is they should be consider automating the inventory process and or the data is as an option during the planning phase of the inventory and in consultation with the advisory officer and the archive technology services staff. So these are the example of map of the physical layout. There are 8 spaces in the physical layout. Number 1, rack of magnetic computer tapes. Number 2, file cabinets with 5 drawers. Number 3, storage closet. Number 4, stack of box files. Number 5, metal storage cabinet. Number 6, file cabinets. Number 7, computer workstation. And the last one, desk with drawers. So this is the records inventory worksheet.
Next, for conducting an information inventory, it requires a commitment of time and resources. The next is the department or unit administration must acknowledge the value of the inventory and its role in the management of information resources. Last is, it should be done on a formal notification to the employee of the department, along with an announcement of those who will be responsible for the inventory. On this slide, for conducting an information inventory, it must be referred to the Manual of Jadual Pelupusan Rekod Fungsian Arkib Negara Malaysia 2012. This manual must be followed by organisation or department on disposal their records. If this manual is not complied, legal action can be applied. For the descriptive inventories component, there are 5 components which include the inventory, such as title page, table of contents, introductions to the records, administrative history, and the last is series descriptions. The information that must be contained in the first component, which is title page, should contain title of finding aids, incorporating proper names, citation of the collection, name of archival repository, and the date of completion of the aids. Okay, the next is for table of content. It set out major decisions made in producing the finding aids, including the influence of original classification system and record keeping system. Next is for introduction to the records. It must contain history, important, and how of the record came to the archive. Anything unusual about the creation of the records will be explained particularly. Next is administrative history. It gives 1,500 words or less of individual career and life of the organization, foundation, developed and major problem. The last is series description. is present in context to show their relationship. For each category, they have information about particular activities of the office or who create them. Next slide is for records and potential records material. Information that should be collected is office, location, title, inclusive status, descriptions, arrangement, mediums, volume, annual accumulation, fibrates, related records, vital records, finding aids, and the last is restriction. For the office, the information must be include name of the program that responsible for the records. For example, National Archive or Record Administration. Next, for locations, it include where the document physically located, such as at the file room or office. For the title, it should be include the title of the document, such as permit or correspondence. Moreover, on the next slides, for inclusive status, descriptions, and arrangement. For inclusive status, the information must be includes what the data spans. For example, in 1992 until 1999. For descriptions, it must be include what's the information includes in the folder. As example, the data contains record in Swiss or tenure of a permits by EPA officer authorized stated federal facilities or interstate agency. For arrangements, information must be include how the records arranged, such as in alphabetical, by data, or other. For mediums, the collections of data must be includes what's medium use, such as paper, microfilm, and electronics. Next, for the volume, it must be includes current volume in feet or inches. As example, 2 inches. Last is annual accumulations. It contains what rates of build up in a year. Example 6. For the next slide is the component of a descriptive inventory include fibrate, related records, vital records, findings aids, and restrictions. For the fibrates, when it close or cut off, for example is end of a year or a month ago. For the related records, is there any other records in group or series related of them? Copies maintenance. If has, who hold them? The next is vital records. Are the document needs for this disaster recovery purpose or protects right and interest? For finding aids, is there any related indexes or lists which serve as a findings aids? And the last is restrictions. Do the document contain any restricted informations? As example, like confidential business informations, CBI.
Some practical hints for conducting inventories. Program staff are the specialists in how the records created are used. They are your key to understanding the records management needs of your organization. Although nobody wants to take responsibility for records management, everyone has opinion on how the best way to manage records. Their suggestions are vital to workable finding system. Recognize and respect the fact that many people are very protective of their records. Getting program staff to trust and use filing system which is other than their own is the biggest hurdle you will face. Next, we move to step-by-step guide to completing the inventory form. There are 9 steps. Next, we move to step-by-step guide to completing the inventory form. There are 9 steps. Number 1. Records inventory taker. Records inventory taker is the person who did the inventory and a telephone number. Number 2. Office and department. The office for which the inventory is being conducted. For example, county clerk, police department. The name of the department will also be entered if applicable. For example, accounts payable, preservation division. Number 3. Records series location. The location records. For example, the purchase order and receipt records are located in room 319 of the Brown Building and are in drawers 3 and 4 of the file cabinet. Number 4. Record working title. The title by which the record is known in the office. For example, the 5 drawers were labeled purchase order. Number 5. Describe record series. The inventory worker should clearly and concisely describe the content of the record series and indicate its purpose. Indicate any pre-printed titles or form numbers that may appear on the records or on the individual documents in the record series. Number 6. Format and size. The inventory worker should indicate all of the formats that apply to the record series. In some instances, it is appropriate to complete more than one category. Number 7. Inclusive dates. Indicate by month and year the earliest and the most recent record in the series. Number 8. Volume. Indicate in cubic feet the approximate total volume of the record series. Number 9. Record Liaison Officer Review. If the records management plan of the local government provides for the appointment of a records liaison officer for each office or department, the information in Field 1 through 9 should be reviewed by the records liaison officer. Field 10 should be initialed and dated by the records liaison officer, even if the inventory taker and the records liaison officer are the same person. This is because the record liaison officer duties are prepare and approve agency records retention schedules in cooperation with agency program supervisor. That's all for us. Thank you.